Hello everybody, this is CholeraSC bringing you set 1 of the second half of Group L, and this will be Yellow Arnc versus the winner of Hero and Midas, and that is Midas. The Tyrant player Midas will be facing one of the two Zergling Broodling twins in Yellow Arnc on the map Plasma, and I have to wonder, will Arnc pull the Cholera build on this map? And by the Cholera build, of course, I mean a Lurker Rush. A Lurker Rush that breaks through the neutral Lurker eggs quickly and kills off their opponent, and that is one of the few builds that I am very good at. In fact, well, it's funny, I mean, usually in the beginning of evenings when I am come home and a couple of people ask me to play, the competition is usually pretty normal, as in I can win sometimes, you know, other times I lose, but as the evening goes on and more people watch, basically everyone's like, I want to play the winner, I want to play the winner, and, or actually they just want to play me, basically. It just seems that the competition just gets harder and harder until by the end of the night, all I'm doing is doing Lurker Rushes, because that's the only thing I could do to win against some of the top players, at least around on sc2g.com. But anyway, here we have Arnc spawning in Teal at the 7 o'clock, of course, and Midas spawning in red at the 11 o'clock. Yellow Arnc is 58% against Terran, but remember, Midas is 65% against Zerg. However, Midas, a little bit like C Shield, has not been doing well in the individual leagues, whereas Arnc has gotten further. And if Arnc should win this best of 3, he will join his brother Luxury in the round of 16 of the OSL. And his brother Luxury, of course, actually got seeded into it because he was in the final 4 of the last OSL. Here comes Arnc, interesting enough, going for a drone scout. I think he just wants to make sure there's nothing cheesy going on. Maybe he wants to possibly hide that drone and try to, well, we'll see if he manages to find a place to hide it. I don't know if he'll actually be able to do it, so he can get a scout in later on. Looks like he's actually going to use the drone to harass a little bit, and he's going to have a good look inside of Midas' base. Midas, actually, interesting enough, hasn't built a barracks yet, so it's definitely not a 10 racks. Could we be seeing something like a 14 command center here? That would be absolutely insane, but we could be seeing a 14 command center here. We've got an SCV chasing the drone around. Maybe it's going to try to set up a command center. Who knows? We'll have to see, though. That would be interesting. If he decides to take the macro route, I think it will actually lead to Arnc taking a big advantage, because Arnc then will have control over the technology, and I'm going to guess he'll probably go for fast tech. And it looks indeed like Midas is going to go for the 14 command center, and he's bringing 2 SCVs here now, and Arnc getting the Zerg's revenge here. Of course, the Zerg are always the ones who get harassed when they're trying to plant their hatchery, but this time he's actually harassed the Tyrant player in trying to plant the command center. So 14 command center coming from Midas, and I think the proper reaction from Arnc, well, basically there's 2 reactions, of course. He could either try to out-expand Midas and pick up his second expansion, but that really won't do that much, because the Terran, really, a Terran with 2 bases versus a Zerg, okay, we are seeing Arnc pick up his second expansion, but that's almost like a natural reaction. This is indeed his build. He's going 12 hatchery, 11 hatchery, and probably 10 pool or something like that. But yeah, he's gone for basically 2 hatcheries before spawning pool. And that build, I would actually have preferred him to go for fast tech. And that drone might actually get killed, but Arnc doing very good drone micro here so far, managing to keep it alive despite the SCV pounding away at it. But yeah, I almost wish that Arnc had gone for a faster tech build. I think that would lead to his advantage in this game. Perhaps he's just, he knows that Midas is going to be somewhat prepared. Midas, of course, knows that Arnc knows about his build, and yeah, Midas is now going to be scouting Arnc's base. So I do expect Midas to be playing fairly cautiously. But what's this? Midas has actually lifted his barracks up, and he's gotten his gas down. So actually, I think, yes, Midas is actually going for a mech build here. So Midas going for the mech build against Zerg here. And we actually saw Flash do this against Rumble in the last Terran versus Zerg I saw in this. Flash also went for the mechanized build against the Zerg player. In fact, he went for something even more audacious. He went for a proxy hidden factory, actually, and then starports. But it looks like Midas is going to be going for a dual factory here to open up with. And really, I don't think there's much Arnc can do about it at this point, because he just got up his two hatcheries before his spawning pool. His tech is going to be delayed a bit. He has his lair morphing, though, which is one thing that's good for him. And actually, we haven't seen the second factory yet, so we still could be seeing an early starport here from Midas. This is definitely turning out to be an interesting game so far in terms of initial builds. And I think Plasma definitely creates this kind of interesting build. And we're seeing an armory and a starport going down. So the starport probably for dropships and and science vessels and not wraiths, because we would have seen 2 and probably earlier. And probably what we're going to see is a heavy Goliath build here from Midas. Of course, he'll need the Goliaths to wow, interesting enough. So Midas decided to cancel the machine shop. I think maybe because he saw a spire going up, just maybe, or he sensed the spire going up, because then he would need more Goliaths. Obviously, he wouldn't need tanks so early on. Finally, the scouting drone, hero scouting drone, getting taken out by the Vulture. Of course, the Vulture is not going to be able to get through, but actually, no, Midas might actually... I'm not sure if it's possible to use the barracks trick to try to get it through. I don't know. It could be possible. Anyway, Spire going up now for oh yeah, Midas is going to be trying to go through here. Oh, he's going to get the Vulture through the eggs. He has gotten the Vulture through the eggs. So Midas with a Vulture through the eggs. Good thing for Arnc though. He's seen it, but there's not much he can do. He doesn't even have, does he have Zergling speed? I don't even think he has, he does have Zergling speed, I think. Yeah, but yeah, finally he is going to be able, if he didn't have Zergling speed, wow, he would have been in trouble. Wow. Arnc with a nice little trap there of the Vulture. I thought that Vulture would do a lot more damage, and certainly I think Midas made a mistake there by letting it die so quickly. I think the Vulture got like 2 drones, but well microed Vulture in that situation could have picked off you know, 5 or 6 before getting killed off. So good work there by Arnc, and Arnc looks like he's going to be setting up another expansion now. And yeah, he is going to be setting up the expansion at the main base at the 3 o'clock location. So he is going to go for sort of a savior build opening here, putting it down right when the Spire is finished. We'll see if he switches to Lurkers next, or if he sticks to air, and maybe even goes for some kind of Spire rush or something. Whoa! Interesting enough, we're seeing a Valkyrie of all units being produced by Midas. I thought pros didn't build Valkyries against Mutalisks, but I guess I'm wrong. I mean, Valkyries are okay against Mutalisks, but generally what happens is the moment the Zerg player sees Valkyries, they'll go to Scourge and just pick off the Scourge off that Valkyrie, and that'll be the end of it. But if he manages to get some Marines or something underneath that Valkyrie, or some Goliaths or something, it could be a very powerful combination nonetheless. And Arnc, unfortunately, is wasting time killing off this scouting barracks. I think he should be moving his... Oh, man, he's basically missing an opportunity right now. I think he should be not bothering about this barracks. He needs to go and attack the main base of Midas, but unfortunately, he's wasted at least 30 seconds picking off the barracks with his 9 Mutalisks. He has got a pair of Scourge, though, so perhaps sensing some kind of mechanized build, some kind of Wraith build or Valkyrie build here. He's got his Scourge out, and... so far, he does not... Well, now he knows there is a mechanized build. The moment he saw the barracks floating around, of course, he knew there's a mechanized build. Now he sees the Valkyries! Will he be able to Scourge the Valkyries? This is absolutely essential. He's already up to 3 Valkyries, Midas's, and oh! This is not good for Arnc, because Valkyries are very good once you get them a number against Mutalisks. I mean, usually you don't build them because, in general, the Zerg player will build lots of Scourge, and we'll see how Arnc reacts. Really, he should just build a lot of Scourge. But who knows, he might even be scared into building Hydralisk, which will play into Midas' advantage. Midas playing a very tricky game here. I thought he was going to go for Goliaths. He only went for 1 Goliath and 3 Valkyries, interesting enough. Throwing a real curveball at Arnc's way here. So Arnc has to react quickly. Of course, he's seen every kind of build in his practice, but he needs to be able to figure out exactly what game Midas is playing, because Midas is now switching to ground units, getting Goliaths and tanks. Those Valkyries are there just to deter this Mutalisk crest, and now he has enough turrets. I think he might have enough turrets. No, actually, Arnc is going to just pick off 1 turret, but he can't stay in there because of the Valkyries. Here come the Valkyries! Arnc, will he get one of the Valkyries? He gets one of the Valkyries, but in the process loses all of his Scourge and probably a couple of Mutalisks there. So those Valkyries really worth their weight in gold, it seems like, so far for Midas. And Arnc has actually gone for all Mutalisks here. He's not switching the Hydralisks, and I think it's because he knew that that if he switched to Hydralisks, he wouldn't be able to compete against this mechanized build here, the tank and